Let's all stand together, our Lord.
Here's the mic.
I told him.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we humbly, graciously thank you so much for being who you are. We thank you for your Son, who you sacrificed for our salvation. We thank you for the country you've given us and the states you've given us. And for all the blessings that you've laid on us to bring us to where we are here. We ask you, Lord, that you would look after us, take care of our troops that are standing in harm's way so that we can be here today. Touch and mold the hearts of the folks that have been put in places of authority, that they make the right decisions. Guide each of us in our thoughts, in our actions, in our prayers for each other. As we look forward that we would do your will in all that we say, all that we do, and that our actions and others will see you through us. In Jesus' name. In Christ's name we pray.
Amen. About Paul giving the benediction.
If you will, stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. Well, I'll just reaffirm that. We have Texans from all over the state of Texas listening to this program today, and thank you, first of all, for tuning in, and thank you for being here in the Ladybird Room in Austin, Texas, and we're going to kick this thing off. I'm Ray Myers. Thank you for being here. That's the thing. Those who win show up every time. So, you know, we're here. We may not win every battle, but we're absolutely going to win the war. Okay? Thank you very much. Now, I got to tell y'all this. Samuel Adams is my favorite founder. I mean, this guy was had a loud mouth too. So, and he started out saying he made the comment that it doesn't take a majority to prevail, but rather a tireless, irate minority keen to set brush fires in people's minds. That's what we're doing all over the state of Texas. And this is the third trip that we've made to the Ladybird Room.
You're good.
We've been highly successful in every trip. The thing about it is, what we call it in Kaufman County is expanding the network. And that's what we're doing here. We're expanding our network, reaching out all over the state of Texas to reach out to grassroots people to do the things that we need to do to win. And the hearts and minds of our people. And we're doing this to take this country back, take Texas back, because we still believe, I believe wholeheartedly that this country was founded on a Christian foundation, and that's where we're going to go. And with that, I want to start out by giving my little definition of a Tea Party. Some of you have heard this before, and maybe some of you haven't heard this before. But this is straight out of the heart, okay? Working with Tea Parties 7 years. We started 7 years ago in working this. It's been a long time. But we're still a baby. We're still a baby. Compared to politics in this world, we're a baby. And we have places to go, we have battles to win and a war to win, okay? What's a Tea Party? Organized teams of like-minded, patriotic, conservative, Judeo-Christians united together to save our country from tyrannical government leaders whose mission is to destroy the Constitution, erode the very foundation of our economy and traditional American values. With the onslaught of attacks on our Christian religion, it's about time we told the nation and the state of Texas who we are. We're not teabaggers. We're not occupiers. We're not even radicals. For the most part, we're Judeo-Christians. We love our God, our family, and our country. Plain and simple, we're going to dig in. And if the Marxists, progressive seculars want to declare war on Christians, they've tried that before. Let the revolution begin. Huh? We believe in the rule of law. We believe in securing our borders. We don't have a country unless our borders are secure. Okay? We believe in a balanced budget. And we believe in personal responsibility. And if the progressive seculars want to find us, we meet each and every Sunday. And every day of the week around the country. In every community in America. We are not ashamed of who we are. That's my definition. With that said, we did win some battles in this land. We did get some attention across the nation. First thing that comes to my mind is Louis Goldman.
Yeah.
I was listening to Glenn Beck, and Glenn Beck says, you know what? They've taken us to the edge of the cliff. And you know what? We're going to stand here. We're not going to drop off. It's time for them to stop. They are not doing the will of the people that we elected to go up there to do. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. They're not doing it. And we are going to stand firm. He got on that TV, and he had people melt the phone lines in Washington, D.C. this last week. That's what we got to do. The brush fires have got to continue to keep going. If we don't, then the establishment is hoping we're going to go away. We've already heard in the last day or two that the establishment thinks that the Tea Party is still going to go away because, what's the reason? They have the money and we don't. We have the vote. We have the will of the people. We have the passion and we have the energy. And we're going to stay with it. Huh? We're going to do that. Now, locally, I had the great opportunity to work in the trenches to help elect a couple of our great leaders in Kaufman County and House District 4 and Senate District 2. Thank goodness that we're out there. Now, I got to say this too. 6 years ago at least, wake up. Well, I've been known to do that. Let me tell you what. We were in meetings. We used to have things called grassroots workshops, didn't we? Huh? Grassroots workshops. Was it grassroots? What was it? Boot camp. Grassroots boot camp. That's what we had. And Ken Emanuelson, we were going to talk about him after a while, but Ken Emanuelson was one of the pioneers that helped lead us. Because, we started this coming together. And Connie was one that was there from the beginning. Bob Hall was one that was there from the beginning. We brought in Don Huffman. And it's just a great thing. Here we are. There's a story. I can't believe. I got to say this. When we got in the campaign, in Bob Hall's campaign, and it got nip and tuck at the end. I mean, you talk about the money. Bob Hall had 12 grand in the campaign. Bob Dole had $500,000. Huh? Yeah. Mac, think about this. We had $12,000 to start with here. And they had 500 grand. Okay, and more to come. We got in there and we won that campaign. And we did it with passionate people like yourself. Don Huffines, whenever the time came, when after he won his campaign in the election, he came over and he stood shoulder to shoulder with Bob Hall to help him get through that runoff. Thank you, Don, for doing that. And with that, I want to introduce this panel right here that we have. It's not going to be a panel because each one of them is going to come up and talk to you a little bit about what the Senate's going to be doing. this coming session. I do know this, that the word is out that the Senate is going to provide the conservative legislation for the people of Texas, and the House is going to kill it. Now, that's what we're hearing. Huh? I want y'all to talk about that a little bit, okay? With that, I want to introduce the first one, Connie Burton. If you'll come up and talk, ladies first.
Thank you. I didn't know I was first. Thank you very much.
Ladies.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hi, everybody. It's so great to be here. You all hopefully know me. If you don't, I'm just one of you who've been working in the trenches behind the scenes for so many years, just like you all have. Got into this because I'm just as worried about the country as you are, worried about the direction that we're going. So got very involved, and, you start seeing things that are going on in our state that are along the same lines as our country, and it's worrisome. I was fortunate enough to be on a Tea Party Caucus Advisory Committee with Joanne Fleming in the lead, and I'm going to tell you what, I have learned most everything I know from Joanne. And I appreciate her so much. I used her line, stole it, used it many times on the campaign trail because I believe in it. And that is that it's time to get Texas back into its constitutional size box. And so the best line Joanne uses, and I use it all the time too, I just steal it.
It's not copyright.
Okay, good. I got into this just like you all, like I said, not ever run for office. It was never even on my radar. But the fact of the matter is we had Wendy Davis that was representing Tarrant County. And it was embarrassing to those of us that believe in conservative principles. And we knew that she did not. She was down in Austin, and many people did not know that. And, of course, the filibuster brought that to light. And, it was fortunate for us. We kind of jumped on top of that and showed everybody where she really stood on the issues. We were very glad that she did that. Although the national media and those in the Northeast thought it was great, we all know where we stand on life in Texas. It is one of our first rights, and it should be defended. And I will defend it in the Senate for District 10. I just wanted to say, too, quickly that you mentioned about we brought Don on, but I'll tell you what. Don was Liberty cool before it was cool. I'll tell you, he's been behind the scenes in the party. Very Liberty oriented. So it's not like he's new to Liberty issues. That's for sure. He is going to be a great advocate of ours in the Senate. So. Anyway, listen. We are going to lead the way in the Senate. I believe it, but I'm here to tell you. I know that you all know how I feel on many issues, but I will tell you that we are going to get conservative legislation passed in the state house regardless, okay? We are going to do what we need to do, make the connections that we need to make, talk to the people that we need to talk to, do the things that we need to do in a respectful and passionate way because it's what the people want. Okay, and we're going to need your help. We can't do it alone. We're going to need your help, but we are going to make this happen this year. This is our time, and nothing. The elections nationally and statewide did nothing but make this very obvious. And I think everybody realizes this. All elected officials. So. Hang with us, bear with us, help us when we need you to help us, but we are going to get this legislation passed because it's what the people of Texas want. Thank you very much.
All right, Bob, why don't you come up, and then I'll let you introduce Don whenever you get through with your remarks. But my friend,
Wait. Did I turn it off?
No, I think it's on back there. I guarantee you, if it's not on, they're going to be. You'll get a hidey from Heidi. That's not a microphone. That's the radio.
All right, we want to hear it.
We didn't elect him for his technical expertise.
I just don't like standing hiding behind the podium. I like to stand out and talk. So So I can stand out here.
Can I say, I just want to say really quickly, if I have to, I hate doing this, absolutely hate to do this, but if I scooch out in the middle of things, it's because I have to, we just got our keys, most of us got our keys to our offices just like the other day, and furniture is being moved in, and I haven't even been in there yet, and so we've got a caucus that we've got to get to later, and so I might scoot out to go to the Capitol, and so I can get to the caucus in time, but that's the only reason. It's not because I don't want to be here, so I just want to warn y'all about that.
I don't want to call you Jeff.
That's why I said it. That's why I said it. You do, and you'll get a smack.
I know. This guy right here, hey, in the trenches.
This is the guy.
We were nose to nose down there in the mud and the guts. We left off the beer for a while, but it may be coming back. Okay? Bob Hall.
I just thank y'all for being here. I mean, I am just humbled, I am blessed, and still amazed that I'm standing here and about to do what we're going to do tomorrow. And I say we, because it's us. And the one thing that I would like to change in the way we refer to people, Ray talks about leaders, this is a servant's job. I'm not a leader. I am not the leader in this position. I am a servant to you. This is to do what you want done, what we want done in advancing the principles of liberty and freedom and the free enterprise and what our founding fathers intended. What we've been working so hard and talking to people about for 7+ years it's been going on. And so that's how I view this thing. And I'll be there for whatever time period that God decides for me to be there, because I never intended to do this. And as Joanne knows, I came to Joanne looking for someone to run against my opponent. I spent 2.5 years, 3 years, looking for someone to do it. And I'll tell you the shortcoming that we got to overcome is I could not find anybody that would step up and do it. And that's the one thing we've got to change. It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing to say, oh, we don't like this, we don't like that. It's another thing to get out there and do something about it. Get into it. Whether it's more active in the Tea Party or helping a candidate, but more importantly, we need more good people running for office, because we only have the problems that come out of Austin or come out of Washington because of the people we put in there. That's where it comes from. And it starts with us, out here. I'm still here. I'm still us. And I always will be part of us out here. But we have got to do more to get people up there that will do the right thing without having 3,000 phone calls being made, who get out of bed in the morning thinking, liberty, freedom, free enterprise, what can I do today to move my country, my state, my county, my city, whatever it is, back to the right. Because we are gradually, and it's not just slow the movement to the left, you know, like they talk about cutting the budget, all they're doing is talking about slowing the rate of growth. They're talking about cutting it. Well, we need to move it back to the right. And so we've got to talk. Now, we're not going to win all the battles all the time, but we're going to win the war, because we're going to keep coming back, and it's not getting knocked down. Believe me, I know about getting knocked down in this election. It's getting back up again, and getting back up fast and relentlessly. And remember that we are all in this together, so that when we move forward in this thing, don't let one little issue or two little issues, or issues, or whether you consider big issues, drive a wedge between any group or people or friends or whatever. We're adults. Let's not work and campaign like high school kids. Let's do it like adults. Let's take a disagreement and say, okay, you've got yours, but I'm not going to call you a name. I'm not going to rate you. I'm just going to accept the fact that you don't understand. And I'm going to work real hard to educate you. And you do that positively. And we stay together and come out of this thing. Because if we get splintered, we get split, believe me, they're going to do it. And just accept the fact we're going to be outspent. But I tell you what, that's no big deal. Don was outspent. Connie was outspent. I was outspent. That's no big deal. Money doesn't vote. People vote. That's where it comes from, and that's what we've got to get involved. The sad part about winning with the vote is, I think our runoff election had 10% turnout. Was about all there was. That's sad. And it's sad when we get excited about getting 20% turnout or 23. We got 23. We got 22%. Folks, that's pathetic.
It's sad, but we won.
Yeah, no, it's true. But we're not winning them all.
No.
But if we would, because we have the people who sit home because they just don't want to get involved. But we've got to do that. And so I will agree with what Connie has to say here. We have got a great opportunity in this session. We got new people at the top. Look, just think of what we have. We've got Ken Paxton. We've got Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick, all of whom have supported the Tea Party or been an intimate part of it, are now in top positions in the state. We've got 8 new senators in the Texas Senate. Unprecedented. Hadn't happened before. And every one of 7 of the 8 replaced one that was significantly more liberal. I had to leave one out because we lost Ken Paxton out of that. So we've got 7 out of the 8 that are significantly more conservative than who they replaced. So the bright lights that have been pretty dim in the Senate are going to be on for what's going to be happening. There will be changes in the rules, and I say that with a very positive feeling that it's going to happen, that we will have some significant changes in the rules that will keep the Democrats from having control of the Senate the way they have in the past, and other rules that will bring better legislation to the floor and keep bad legislation off the floor. And we've got some challenges out there. Don is he's like a dynamo on liberty-oriented bills. He has been free filing. He and Matt have been